Hello everyone, so again for the sake of copyright, I will be showing gameplay instead of showing clips from the show so I don't have any risk of getting a strike. Please like and subscribe or support me on Patreon. I would love to do this full time if possible. Also, before I get into it, this is a spoiler warning as I will be talking about a lot of different moments in the show. If you don't want to get spoiled, I have a timestamp that just shares my final thoughts and gives my rating of the show. If you want, you can skip to that part listed in the description. So I watched Secrets of the Silent Witch, and it was great. I wanted to give my thoughts in a longer video since this was a show that I enjoyed a lot. I think the premise of the show does not sound that interesting though, to be honest. A witch who has people's issues is tasked with going undercover as a student in a school and protecting the second prince, Felix Arc-Riddle, and thus begins her life trying to deal with school and being shy and the students and a bunch of other stuff. I think that at first the premise did not interest me that much, but when I saw the first episode I was sold, because the way they use magic I thought was great. The way it was presented as sort of this out-of-world ethereal thing was great, and watching her cast a spell and then a bunch of giant dragons get lasered in the face, I thought the presentation for it was excellent. I think that the characters in the show are also pretty all likable. From the shy and timid Monica, the protagonist, to the charismatic and elegant prince, to the outgoing and protective Lana Lolette, all the characters in the show are pretty likable, and you really enjoy the company of each character as they enter Monica's life. There were not really any annoying characters, which was good, and I do think that the show is a really relaxing watch with all the typical school stuff you would expect, like clubs and classes and stuff. Yet the quiet moments are broken by the few but well-written plots where there are assassins after the prince's life. When Monica has to use her magic, the show gets pretty interesting, seeing how she navigates each scenario perfectly to protect the prince from danger. When she uses her magic, that is when the show is at its best. It is simple, but the magic in this show works really well. It is all based on mathematics and stuff, which makes the system of magic in this world a bit more interesting than your usual magic. It's not on the level of Frieren, but I did enjoy the magic in this series. And now for the stuff that was not so great. Unfortunately, one of those things is the magic. I think that they don't use magic enough in this show. It feels more like a slice of life show about a typical nobility school with magic sprinkled in here and there. Like when you see that epic moment when Monica uses magic to kill a bunch of dragons, you want more from the show in terms of magic and stuff, but the show just does not deliver on that. It sticks to the more mundane school stuff, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it does not feel satisfying to have so little magic. And on that note, I also found the mundane school stuff a bit too boring sometimes. Like when they're having tea time, for example. I'm sorry, but I could care less about some ladies and their tea time. Sorry, but that is just not my thing. There were interesting things related to school though, like the chess competition because it delves into the past of Monica and how she came to be, but other times it is not so interesting. Despite its issues though, I do think the show is very good, even if there were some boring moments. If you like school related shoujo stuff, I think the show is right up your alley. I would give the show an 8 out of 10.